Hey guys, this is Mark.
And this is Austin.
Welcome back to Life with Rojo. Today, man, we're joined with some special guests. I'm super pumped about this. There's a show that I watched recently, and I started watching on a Saturday, the whole family, and I had to binge watch the whole thing. Actually, this show, I've never even seen season one. I've only seen season two of this show, but I watched every episode and absolutely loved it. And man, I was blessed that reached out, and two of our favorite people from the show are on with us today. So, from Outlast season 2.
To introduce myself, I don't believe that we have ever met. I think that we could hit it off so well. Let me paint a picture, you and me together. I'd like to introduce
Austin, he caught up. He watched the season and everything, so he's gotten to know y'all a little bit, and we're excited to welcome Trey and Tanya on with us.
What's going on, guys? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Peace.
All right, so we'll start with Tanya. Tanya, will you just give us a quick little one-liner about yourself, if you don't mind?
Oh my gosh, I'm a definite wilderness woman.
Trey?
I'm pretty much the same thing. I'm more of a nomad, so I'd rather live in my van and be out in the woods. But if I can get on the road, that's definitely a blessing.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, it's really cool because, for somebody like me that just watches the show, you wonder how much of a lifestyle it is for the people that are on it, and you two, just from, checking out your social medias and even talking to you a little bit, that's your life. Like, like I was thinking about it, all right? I've gotten to an age right now where if I camp on the ground, my hip hurts. And, like, y'all out there, like, you don't even have the luxuries that I have with just a sleeping bag. I mean, I'm that age now that I had to get the cot out, to camp.
Right.
So like that's my first thing I got to ask y'all. Like, how? I mean, how?
I mean,
I will laugh with you because my brother just left. He was visiting from Idaho, and they have a truck like mine, except theirs is newer. And they have like these blow up mattresses that are specifically made for the bed of the truck and the back seat of the truck. I'm like, what? I lived in that sucker during the evacuations and I almost died. No, it's not comfortable. It's not fun.
Well, listen, I just got back from vacation and I was complaining about the beach house bed that I was sleeping in. So
oh man,
I was like, this is my, mattress I
I'm
haven't.
so grateful for a beach house.
So tell us a little bit about your background, like, kind of how long have you been like, a wilderness woman or a nomad, and kind of like your journey, just being out in nature and things like that.
I think I was born into it. My dad is a Vietnam veteran, so his full-on 100% mission in life was to make us survivalists from the day we were born.
Oh, that's awesome.
We've been out there, so 55 years or whatever, give or take a couple of days.
I can definitely tell. Yeah, I can definitely tell being out there. I could definitely tell that, it came natural. Like, we weren't really like looking for things to do or like trying to plan out what was next for the day. We kind of just woke up like, all right, well, this is what I'm feeling like doing. Let's go here. Let's go there. This is what we got to get done for today. And like it just came really comfortable, Like, I didn't sleep in a tent the first 5 days because I was just so amazed to be in Alaska. Like, I literally just sat outside by the fire and I just, listened to the ocean, watched the stars. It was an amazing experience.
Oh, that's awesome. So, like, what were the temperatures when you were there? Like, some of the colder temperatures y'all faced?
Does that say death? Death, we're frozen and we're dying.
Yeah. So there was actually
we have that info.
Yeah, there was a hurricane that actually blew through while we were there. And one of the days the crew couldn't come out. Usually, the crew leaves before, like, right at sunset. And we were sitting there waiting on the crew to come because they usually come, about an hour or two after daybreak. And I mean, it was like we had already got breakfast done. We had went scourging on the beach, and they came back and said, "Yeah, we were on hold. They wouldn't let anybody leave the dock because of the hurricane coming through." And we were just out there in the woods. We didn't even know it. So, I mean, we were just
Don't
out there
forget
like,
the
all right, it's really windy today.
That's crazy though. It's like, oh, we're not allowed to travel, and you guys are just out there chilling.
Like, oh, it's a little breezy today. Let me have a little picnic.
I think we were just happy. I mean, it was like months afterwards. I just wanted to go back. That was the only thing I wanted to do, was just go back to Alaska for months and months.
Most definitely.
It was so amazing out there, and even the people when we were in the towns, the people were so just amazing people. I've never met people like that in my life.
No, that's all. Like, I can imagine the peace of it, and like anybody who's really going to live in those areas, they're going to be a similar type of people. I would imagine that,
the peace is immeasurable.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're walking down the street, I mean, of course, they had to keep us all separated before the show. So, they didn't want us to be all cooped up. So they had to literally, like, time it perfect. And everybody had to go with their, escort to go, like, stretch your legs, go walk around town. I ran into one guy who knew my escort, and they started talking. He's like, "Oh, yeah, I went hunting the other day. Big old bull moose just charged me. I'm over here playing peekaboo behind a tree, trying not to get trampled." And he's talking like it's normal. And I'm like, think I need to come back and hang out with this guy. Yeah, I mean, that's just their life out there. It's normal.
Yeah. It is interesting to see how people live in different ways, man. Like, it's like, I live in a rural community, and, I live 30 minutes from him, and even the way we live compared to how he lives is completely different. And then, you can only imagine in somewhere like a remote place in Alaska. So,
yeah.
Now, you guys both adapted really well to it. It was something that, felt natural to you. You enjoy that type of lifestyle. Now, were there people that didn't adjust to it as easily as y'all did?
I mean, I'm sure there were some people.
I could tell you were trying to hold something back.
I think about us, and it's, for me, it was more like it's just another day in the life. I missed my coffee, but other than that, I drank hot water, whatever. It was fine. And I think that the majority of the people on Team Delta were pretty much the same way, just like, okay, just another day in the life. But I think on the other two teams, there might have been people that it was really a big culture shock for and was a little bit much, maybe.
Right. Yeah, so...
Not to name any names.
Right. No, we're not putting my own blast out here. But... what you just said was such a funny statement. I could only imagine, like me going to work and like, "Oh, we're out of coffee today. I'm just going to give you hot water," and see how they would respond to that.
It would be a pandemic in the office. Yes.
No. Now, were there any just wild stories that maybe weren't caught on camera, like while y'all were out there, that would be real interesting? Wild situations, anything like that?
You go first, Trey.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and point out the fact that Team Bravo actually came over to Alpha before we went over there to go check those guys out. So that was like a major thing that they didn't really put in there.
Right.
Drew came over, so, we were all changing to the food they were giving us while we were waiting to go out on the boat. So, I had an upset stomach for maybe the first week. I mean, I was going back and forth to the hole, and, not much was coming out, but my stomach was just so tight. And Drew, Emily, and I think, not Sammy. It wasn't Sammy. It was Drake. All three of them came over.
It was Drake.
Yeah, they all came over, kind of checked out the camp. And while they were doing that, I was making new snares and traps. So I kind of sat down with Emily, kind of showed her what I was doing. Everybody kind of just split up, and then everybody kind of hung out with somebody, and, they didn't really show us like bonding like that beforehand. They just kind of jumped to the drama.
So when you saw that, like when you were able to watch it, was that surprising to you?
Yeah, because I think it would have gave people more perspective. Uh, especially I'll let Tanya tell you about the whole vote situation. But I think if they would have added some more into it, people would have got a different aspect of what happened there.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I think that the biggest thing for me was the different shelters and the things that Trey and I wanted to do, as opposed to some of the
Yeah.
larger personalities that we started out with, maybe. And I think there were a lot of things that would have made a lot of difference. That Trey and I's personality is just more laid back. We're like, okay, we'll do it this way.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal, whatever. We were just a little more chill.
Right.
And we should have been a little bit more not aggressive, but a little bit more assertive, maybe. I think.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Yeah, it's
I do have
we tried to split the task when we first got there, so you didn't want to just come in there, start putting your foot down, say, "Hey, I can do this, that, and that. This is how you guys should do it." We wanted to, start as a team so we can kind of keep that bond. Like we didn't want the whole Axis captain, follow his lead. Like we wanted to split it up. So, Tanya went scavenging, I went scavenging for mushrooms, Bio started on the fire. So we kind of just, gave everybody their space. We didn't want to jump on everybody right away.
Exactly. Which I think was a good thing. I'd do it again too.
Yeah.
The same way. I would do that again the same way.
I wish we would have changed
Not
location.
really wanting to
like
push
we had
myself on
planned.
other people.
So talking about the food and things like that, I've always wondered on shows like this when you have the crew out there, and the crews are out there, pretty most of the day, and they may be switching out crews like cameramen and stuff coming in and out. But like, does the crew ever have like snacks or anything that you see them like eating while they're recording the show or anything like that? Because I've always thought about that. If I saw someone eating, like a granola bar or like a ham and cheese sandwich, and I'm out there, digging for mushrooms, I know me, I would probably lose it. I would be like, "You want to share that Wonder Bread sandwich?"
Joker's got a Big Mac, and you just ate a worm.
No, we eat this.
It was ground Twinkies, aka slugs. No
I froze
worms.
up.
So were there any of those kind of situations?
Uh-oh. I think we lost Trey.
Oh.
So yeah, there he is. There were a few times where the crew received their meal out in the field while we were out there, but I mean, for me, it didn't really bother me. My mindset was, we're not going to be eating, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So that was, for me, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I think I went to the restroom once and they were taking a lunch break, and I kind of saw one of the filmers come out with a banana. I kind of just, oh, okay. And, it did a hard turn. I was like, all right, I'm going to go find a bush over here. So.
A banana might have been tough for me. I love bananas.
Yeah, it was a little mental block, but, my mind was kind of, the whole time I was out there, the only thing I really craved was Twizzlers. So, nobody's walking around with a bag of candy. So I was like, all right, I'll just chill out. It's nothing really.
I feel like I would have been petty, man. I would have like done my business and made eye contact while he was eating that banana. Make it a real uncomfortable banana situation.
Just looking through the bush, all you see is eyeballs.
I think we all might have been hyper aware of being extra kind to all of the crew of any sort, whether it was the safety crew or the camera crew or the production crew, because they had a bad experience previous, so we wanted to represent different for that.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, both of y'all seem like incredibly thoughtful people. So, I mean, if people followed suit of that, then I definitely believe it. Now, what specific skill did each of you possess that you feel like really sets you apart for, a show like this? If you have to pick just one.
I was going to say, I think they picked me because I'm old, but I do have a lot of survival skills. No, there aren't many women. There aren't many women my age out there doing what we do.
Right.
So, you know,
Yeah,
but
that's
I think
awesome.
just the overall lifetime survival skills. I mean, it's been my life, my way of life.
Right.
So I feel like that was kind of a big deal. And I do have really good archery skills, but I find it amusing that I was put onto a team with two alpha males that, pretty much bow hunting, bow hunting and hunting and trapping are their forte. So I didn't even see the bow until after both of them were gone.
Mm.
Because
Now,
something said that people were disappointed in me for my lack of bow skills, but I never showed them.
right. Well, so with your skill in that, is it hard to watch somebody that like tries to take over and then they're not as good as you?
No, not at all. And I'm not saying they're not as good as me. They're probably better. Play a part at all. The only thing I was thinking was, if you think you can do it better and you're going to provide the food, far be it from me. I'll do something that is beneficial to the team that is not that.
Right.
So
Now,
no ego. I have no ego. Whoever's better for the team.
Oh, well, I was about to say, like, if you knew there was something to hunt out there, and they came back with mushrooms, at that point, you feel like you might take that bow.
Hmm. That would have been a whole. I'll tell you something really funny. I wouldn't have been that thrilled about it because there were mushrooms everywhere, and Trey and I were doing pretty good with the mushrooms. But when we were picking teams, or when the teams were being picked, not me because I was last. I heard Emily say that she knew over 250 varieties of plants in the Alaskan forest where we were. And in reality, what she said was over 24. So the whole time I'm wanting Emily on my team because she knows all of these plants. And it was wrong. It wasn't even what she said. Trey did great. He was my doctor for the wilderness meds.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
If it was up to me, I would definitely say that, Tanya came in clutch as far as like finding all the shell crabs. She found the starfish. We were getting tired of eating the mushrooms like slimy and loose, so she started to cook them. Like, she decided to go down to the beach, find kelp. She made kelp chips.
So Tanya was out there working, and everybody else was just getting video.
I just keeping it moving. That's all. Keeping it moving. Trying to make it to the end.
We're trying to get Trey back
there
on.
He is.
So there you go. You're good. I have little T-Rex arms. I couldn't reach the button, so he had to get it.
So let me ask y'all this: for the show, like, were you guys recruited by the producers, or did you have to like submit an application? Like a process, or what was that process like getting on to the show?
Good, Mom.
Mine was really easy. I applied for Naked and Afraid, and they called me to do this show. So it was a little bit. I mean, I don't know what everybody else's process was, but mine was really easy. I thought, man, this is the easiest thing. If actually, at first, I thought they were joking, so I was like, okay, I'll play along until they ask me for money, and then I'll just give them a piece of my mind. But even when I was getting on the plane to Alaska, I was like, well, maybe I'm flying into the never to be seen again, but at least I tried. I didn't believe it. It was just too easy.
Right.
Yeah, my mom, she actually does film. She's been stand-in for like a couple different shows like P-Valley. She's done a couple movies, Species 2. She's been on a couple of new Netflix movies. So she got the casting call for this. My mom hates the outdoors. All right, they're like the total opposite. That's why Tanya's my nature mom. My mom is my birth mom. Like, they'll both be my mother forever. But she sent it to me, and I had my first interview with the pre-call, and I mean, from that, it just skyrocketed. Like, every video call, I think there was like 5 or 6 video calls, and every single one is like, oh, you're great, you're awesome, we love everything you're saying, we love your personality, the way you're spitting it out, like, you talk like you rehearsed it already. And like, once I finally saw, I think they had somebody from Alone doing the casting for like the final 2 video. And once I saw her, I was like, "Oh crap, this is actually real. This I'm really going."
Right.
And then,
I was so happy when I saw her.
yeah, I was like, "Oh my god, this is actually real." I start jumping around. That's when I'm
Thank you.
texting my
Yeah.
mom, like, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And when I get to Alaska, they tell me you're a stand-in, so you may get on the show, you might not. So I literally didn't know till 2 days before they sent us out on the boat that I was actually going. So the whole time I was in Alaska, I'm just like, well, a free trip to Alaska, I get to enjoy the view, I get to see the mountains every morning. So I was there
Wow.
just chilling, really.
So if you ever wonder about how hard it is for people like us to be locked up in a hotel for over a week, somebody tapped out while they were in the hotel.
Yeah.
Just an
So
FYI.
I was,
Oh,
And
wow.
I wasn't
that's
supposed
where
to
we
be on
got
the
Trey.
show. I was a stand-in.
Thank goodness.
Wow.
So the hotel did them in,
Yeah.
Yeah. So just
It
imagine
was
being out
hard.
there with no
It was
service.
hard being in the hotel.
Wow.
Wow. So how many stand-ins were there? Like, were you?
They didn't
Do
say.
you know?
I
Or
think there were two.
just two?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's just wild to think. Like, I mean, awesome trip paid to Alaska, but then it's like, oh, now I'm going to be eating like mushrooms and stuff, and just out here, and and thinking about it, I'm glad that both y'all made it on this show. Naked and Afraid could have been awkward. Who knows?
Yeah, because I was actually filling out. I did the application for a loan and Outlast at the same time, and the Outlast got back to me first. So I was already
Right.
preparing to be on a loan with no team. So like before I
Yeah.
even put the application in, I was already eating like once a day. I would get up early in the morning, work all day long, cut wood, move furniture, do whatever, and I'll eat one decent sized meal, not a really big meal, a decent sized meal at the end of the night. And I was doing that a month before I even got the call for the show. Just trying to like prep myself, because at first I was trying to gain weight like everybody else does. But my
Mhm.
metabolism is so high, I can't gain weight if I sit down and eat like 10 burgers at a time. So I was like, let
See,
me
if
go
I
back.
think about a burger, I gain weight.
It's just my body doesn't work like
Not
that. So I had to work with my skills, and my skills is having a high metabolism and just having a long go.
Right.
you have a lot more skills than that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just watched it, and I know, but both y'all got a ton of skills, so that I don't possess. So
Anything's possible, and that's the thing. Like so many people have hit me up, like, how did you get into this? Like, what started it? Literally taking off of work, going fishing, and just sitting out there. Fish aren't hitting. I'm just sitting there watching, animals come by, watch rabbits hopping by, not seeing me because I'm just sitting down in the grass, chilling, enjoying my time. I'm like, man, I could be getting so much food right now. You get up and go look, like, oh, maybe I can go get my boat. On your way to your car, you go see a trail of mushrooms. You're like, yo, there's food everywhere out here. Just people are so used to it being called a weed or a danger plant. They don't take the time to actually research,
well, that's just an incredible mindset shift. Just like, because people, we were like that for so many years early on in civilization, and then now, people have really just changed that. I mean, like I was joking earlier about the coffee thing. I mean, there's people that if they don't have coffee on a day, they can't function.
You can't get out. Exactly.
You see me making up for it now with my coffee.
Double,
Still making up for it.
double shots of espresso every morning.
You too.
But
Now, when you have a group out there that before the show didn't really know each other and everything, one of the big things that, and both of us have mental health backgrounds, so it's like there's a lot of emotional and different upbringings, different ways that you view life, and ways that you view nature, and just everybody's coming from different perspectives and everything.
right.
And like, so how do you balance and set an emotional tone for a group like that?
Well, I can definitely say we didn't have too many arguments. There was definitely times where you could feel the tension rising and people, kind of biting their tongue. But, we were all kind of respectable of each other. So, if you had something to say, you kind of just like kind of mumble it to yourself, or, kind of throw a hint to one of your teammates on the way out the camp or something, and then you go fish or go blow some steam. But we never had any serious altercations.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I felt that the most of the tension was created between Bio and Zach, because they were so assertive in their opinions. I felt like that created a good bit of tension there. But also we had the comedic relief of Bio to, kind of chill things out, which was, I mean, he was great. He was great. We loved him.
Yeah, Bio's night stories were like the highlight of the day. I can't believe none of those night stories got into the show. Like, we were literally up laughing all night to where Zach literally popped up like a Jack in the Box and was like, "Can you guys please shut up so we can get a little bit of sleep for tomorrow?" And we're just like, "Okay,
Yeah.
Captain." And we're just going right back to laughing. It was like so fun out there at night.
Yeah, it was really
Hey,
fun.
laughter's a great medicine. So.
Yeah.
It definitely.
And I think I too
just
come from a mental health background, so one of my amazing abilities is usually to be able to find something to like about everybody, so that I can get along with everybody. Or in my profession, to be able to work with someone, you have to be able to find something that you can like.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, Trey,
I didn't have to agree.
Right.
Right.
And look, that is a lesson for a lot of people. We can have different views on things and still get along. You don't have to have the same view as someone else to get along. And I think that's a huge lesson the world needs to hear right now. Because everybody's so hyper focused on what their view is, and struggle to get along with people with a different view. So
I could not agree more.
Yeah, that's
So
one
Tanya
thing
needs
about us Bio. We're definitely the type that's like, we're gonna let you do it your way so you can see it's wrong.
Right.
Then we can try it my way. So I can kind of break
Right.
in your face so we're all on the same page. That's kind of people we are.
I will say though, some of my favorite moments did not make it on video, like or make it on TV, like when I wanted to cuddle the marmot because we couldn't eat it, and Zach was like,
Yeah. And he knew he couldn't be caught. He kind of just strolled through camp. We're like, we can't count.
"Yeah, such a beautiful creature. I wanted to cuddle it. That fur was so pretty."
Yeah.
And the arguments with the squirrels up the trees that we couldn't get.
Yeah. That's what I cussed out the most. I definitely cussed out the squirrels. If I made anybody mad, it was the squirrels.
Me too.
All right, random question. Last week, so I got a pet turkey. And
did you say a turkey?
Yeah, turkey.
Oh my gosh.
And it's got a real long neck. And, my family, none of us are cussers.
Okay.
But we all feel like if anybody was going to cuss, it'd be the turkey. So then we got talking on it, and he feels like anything with a long neck cusses. And I didn't know what I was talking.
Well, I'll tell you, llamas and alpacas, they for sure cuss a lot.
See, I told you.
Yeah, nobody likes that. Like, there's a reason ostrich put their head in the ground, all right? They're just, going to work down there, They don't let anybody hear it, It's definitely
No. Mm-mm. Down with the emus.
It does sound like they did cut out, or they didn't show a lot of the funnier moments, excuse me, and things like that on the show. Like, what's one of the biggest moments you wish they would have? I know you've already talked about, the other team coming over first and kind of checking in and things like that. But what's like another, or like the biggest moment you wish they would have aired that didn't make the cut?
I would have to say my biggest moment was since day one, all I wanted to do was go on a trek in Alaska. And about, I don't remember I know it was after the bio situation, but, they finally got me my own camera guy, and it's like, all right, go ahead, have fun, go walk. They literally just let me go for like an hour and a half to go and trek through the woods. And I mean, I was finding deer tracks. I was finding their dead deer beds. You could see me finding their stool. I was checking it. You could see the stool getting fresher and fresher. I was hot on the trail. I'm pointing out trails and everything. And as I'm going up the river, I end up falling into the river. And I get nothing but freezing cold water to go into my boot. So, I hurry and get out of the river. Even the cameraman, he's looking at me like, no. So I go and step out the side. I go untie my boot. As I dump the boot, it was so wet that I dropped the whole boot back in the river. So now I'm an hour and a half away from camp with a soaking sock, soaking boot, and I have to walk back downhill through, I didn't take the same way back. I was like, I'm already this far. I'm going to enjoy my walk while I'm out here. So, I got carried away, started picking more mushrooms. So, now it's going on 2 hours and I got freezing cold feet. So what a lot of people don't know is that I end up getting frost nip in both of my feet from the show. And, if it wasn't for Tanya, me going with her and, checking on her, taking off my boots, my feet were swollen. All of my toes were crossed over each other. I was blue all the way up to the ankle. I literally got out of the bed and I went for a walk and I just hit the floor because I couldn't feel my feet. So.
Dang, Tracy, you're better than me, Trey. I would have got the flare when the boot stepped in the water and out, taking it back to the Holiday Inn Express.
I couldn't. I felt it in me like if anybody was going to take down our camp, it had to be somebody from Alpha. I refuse to let any other team take down our camp. So I refuse to go back without taking down our camp.
Man, that's strong. Like that's a whole different level of strong.
Yeah.
And that would have been good shown on the show. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see,
right.
And funny too at the same time. But like just to show, like, hey, it's rough out here.
I mean, you still got all your toes, right?
Yeah, like I said, like if
you can laugh about it.
I'd be a very upset person because I still do longboarding and downhill. So if I didn't have feet, y'all would see a very grumpy Trey.
We don't want that. We want a happy man.
Yeah, we love happy Trey. No, so you and I have talked, a good bit of spiritual talk, Trey, over the past week or so. And one of the things I wanted to know is like, was there any like specific spiritual lesson that maybe you learned or maybe, just grew in while you were there on this?
I feel like I did do a lot of praying, but it was like to myself. I can say, I wasn't forefront with all my godly stuff, because I didn't know where everybody's staying. I didn't want to make it uncomfortable. So, if we did, that one squirrel we got, I prayed for it. I was super thankful. I think about day 5 or something when I actually, because I'm allergic to seafood, if you guys didn't know. I'm allergic to shellfish. And we're out there eating seafood the whole time. So, every time we're making dinner, I'm like, ooh, starfish, why not try it? Everything out there we're eating is potential to kill me. So the whole time I'm like, hey, he has me covered. Like the whole way, the whole flight to Alaska, I'm like, my saying is God got me. I don't push it on people. I just say God got me because there's so many things that's happened in my life that I can't explain. Nobody can explain. Perfect timing, like not getting injured. Like there's a lot of things that could have went wrong on that show. And I was out there just relaxed and calm as ever. Like I've never been that happy. I mean, I was just going through a breakup. I wasn't working. My sister was watching my dogs. I didn't know how their health was going. Like I had a lot of things going on back at home, so I can see how people let the mental get to them. There's times where Dak was breaking down because he was so worried about his family, and like that stuff really get to you. And I feel like it was that spirit that was like, hey, calm, relax, enjoy your time while you're here. So right. I definitely say he had a hand on me while I was there.
No, that's awesome. And Tanya, how about you?
I was basically in my religion. Nature is my religion, so I was right smack in the middle of it, and I could not have been happier. And even going out there, I was reading the signs, like the rainbows, and Trey was one of my signs. I may have read them wrong because they told me that we were going to win, and I was completely confident that we were going to win the whole time. I had no doubts whatsoever until they yanked me out of there unconscious. I was like, no way. Oh, don't cry. But hey, so I think I just read the signs wrong. The signs were there, but I read them differently than they were intended.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I did get, a son out of the whole deal, and that makes me incredibly happy. And just the time being there was amazing. I can't even describe how amazing it was to just be out there.
Right.
In fact, when they were asking me on my exit interview what I wished was different, I told them it was too short. I wish I was still out there. And they're like, nobody's ever said that. Are you kidding me? I was like, no, that's what I wish. I wish I was still out there.
Yeah.
I talked to Brendan on the phone probably 2-3 weeks ago, and he told me the same thing.
I
He
love
said,
Brendan.
yeah, he said it was breaking down when they were ending it. And me as just a fan of the show, I was just like, no, it can't be over now. Like I thought I still had a few more episodes at least.
Right.
So,
yeah. The same way, like I was so touched because being out there, we heard like 2 arguments over at Delta, like from across the water. We could hear them yelling in the middle of the night. But besides that, like we didn't know Bree walked across the shore. We had binoculars, like we saw Joey out deciding on the beach at one point in time, but we didn't know what was going on. Like even though you're out there, the cast and crew can't tell you what's going on with the other crews. They can't give you any hints. They literally have to be ghosts while they're there. So we didn't know what was going
And they're
on.
so far away.
Exactly. Like we didn't even know you could cross over to the other side. We was like, I guess we got to build a boat if we want to go talk to Delta or Charlie. Like we didn't even know the water went down because we never walked past Alpha. Like it was so much space out there. They said that this game board was twice the size of season 1. So, it wasn't like a little hop and skip. Like it took almost 30 to 45 minutes just to get to Alpha.
Yeah.
So
the game board was huge.
Yeah, it seemed it. Like I told you, I didn't see season 1, but like seeing all the area y'all had to navigate and everything, it was huge.
Yeah,
like I was really surprised by that.
Well, season 1, they could like talk to each other across the water and stuff. We couldn't do that. Really? We couldn't even see across the water.
Yeah, one of them swam across. It was like, it wasn't a stream, but it was, it was like a good like 10, 15 minute swim. So Justin, we give you props, man. I love Justin. Justin's cool. He did some sketchy stuff on season 1, but he's cool people.
Now I'm about to go watch season 1 and just look for Justin to see what.
I'll tell you now, it's a lot of drama, a lot more drama than we had.
Yeah. He had a lot to deal with.
It sounds like it. We got to go back and watch that. Yeah. But so both of y'all are into this really as a lifestyle, being in nature and everything. So what is something that you would say that you do that's pretty normal to you, but probably pretty wild to someone else? Like someone else would be surprised that that's part of your like normal life or normal eating or whatever it is.
Probably that I raise and butcher and eat all of my own meat.
Wow.
Most people don't want to know that those things turn into food.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I mean, I make sure everything is happy and healthy and has a great life and dies a swift death, but I do kill them.
Right.
And butcher them.
You'd be proud of me, Tanya. I don't know, a month or so ago, I was slaughtering a chicken. And I actually Brendan called me, and I was like, dude, what's a quicker way to knock this out, man? I got to get rid of these. So he was giving me some advice and giving me some pointers on it.
Yeah.
Brendan would have the advice for sure.
Right.
Yeah, I kind of use everybody for the same tactic right now. Like we're all in the group chat. So like if I'm need to go make a video, I go hit up Bree, or I just killed something and I don't know what a good recipe is. I go and message chef. Like, oh, that's kind of what I use everybody for now. So I love it.
We are really a big happy family for the most part, I think.
I can only imagine what's in that text thread. Like, I think just that text thread itself, people would be so confused by.
Well, edit. Yeah.
I can definitely say we tried to be nice, and we were trying to set up a little reunion thing that got denied. But there was a lot of bickering back and forth. Somebody still wanted to be a crazy, outstanding person. So, there was kind of a crazy part where we kind of had to kick somebody out of the thread, and that went kind of left. But, after that, everything kind of just calmed down. We're all cool now.
It's amazing how like one person can really change the tone of things.
Yeah, big time. Like we never saw it coming. Like even in camp, like we said, the first week everything was laughs and giggles. Bio's just a great guy, and then all of a sudden the light switched. Like,
Yeah.
You want to tell them about the vote, Tanya, before they went over to Bravo?
Oh no, you go ahead.
All right. So they I think they started recording whenever we decided we were going to go for the Bravo, kind of decide, whether we were going to have them as friends or foes. So, over everything, we sat down, we kind of weighed the pros and cons. We literally sat down, faced each other, and took a vote. We said, we're going to go over there, see how they're doing, spectate everything, see if they're eating, see if people look sickly, look like they're ready to go home, and we'll play it from there. And then everybody agreed. And then Bio walked straight into camp and starts stealing. And he says it was for the team. We literally went through a whole vote that they didn't show, and everybody agreed. So that's like the main thing that kicked off him getting voted off. Like, you can't say you're with us and then go completely against what we all agreed to. It doesn't work.
Yeah,
that was the only part that I disliked was when they showed Bio saying how his team didn't have his back and everything, and I was like, dude, you can't go rogue and then expect your team to have your back. It doesn't work that way. And that really hurt my feelings because I felt like I had everyone's back for the most part. And
exactly.
I was like, no.
And then he stole something that they didn't even need, because he stole a can after giving them our can of water, the squirrel head, to find out that they found a big crock pot on the side of the beach. So everything he stole was for nothing. Like, they didn't even need what he stole.
Right.
Yeah. And then I cried for 2 days because we voted him out just to find out that he didn't like us at all. I was like, well, never can get those tears back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I remember watching that part, and it kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
And I was wishing like there was like a more background and stuff. Cause I think y'all talked about, hey, this is not what we discussed. This is not what we had agreed on, but it didn't really show all that part. It was more, going in and taking it and kind of like the aftermath. But yeah, that was definitely a game changer right there. I was like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
it was.
So I want to ask one last thing about the show, and then I want to start to transition into, and Austin's going to ask you some questions on after you got back from the show.
Okay.
But the last thing I want to ask on the show, if the show was just teams of 2 people, y'all would have won it, right?
Oh, hands down. Like, as soon as we got there, I started picking my team, and not even to be funny, I had picked Tanya, I had picked Brendan, and I had picked Joseph. That's who my team was going to be in my head in that order. So, once I didn't get the axe, I'm like, crap. All right, well, hopefully I'm still with some of these people. And, as everybody's getting picked up, I'm like, all right, Brendan's gone. And, they called me right for Joseph. And I was like, oh, crap. All right, the last 2 people, at least 2 of the 4 people I wanted, I'll get one of them. So, I'm happy that it turned out to be Tanya. I did go and do some fishing with Joseph. And I'm not going to say twins. Yeah, we went and got some alligator gar. So I was down in Louisiana driving back from
that is one individual there.
Yeah, he's definitely an outside man. Like, I thought I did this. Like, he
call me an old lady. It's okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I'll give him props.
Look, for you to even be on the show, I know you couldn't be old. All right, like, there's people who could have went out there and, like, not to call him out, but Julio, like, he has like his back and everything messing with him just from the temperature. It's not an old thing. It's just over time your body wears down on you. And for Tanya to come out here, she never complained about having pain, being tired, nothing like that. Just that one night she went and blacked out. And mind you, watching that whole show, that is the only time I cried is when I saw her pass out. Even though I knew it was coming, that is the only part I teared up on that whole show.
And that's something, man, just to see the friendship that y'all developed where y'all became family. Like, I loved it. And it's funny that you mentioned Tanya, Joseph, and Brendan, because the four of y'all are the only four I've talked to from the show. Because like Joseph's talking to me about his mechanic stuff. And Joseph, whenever I talk to him, it's really funny. Like, he'll talk to me about his mechanic stuff, doing the mobile mechanic thing, and then he'll talk to me about his alligator snapping turtle.
Yeah,
Like,
a big pond back there. Yeah,
he built like a resort for him. You know, got a little pond going on and everything. And he caught a huge one the other day. It was like
I would say
100.
that one. I think that one was bigger than me.
yeah, most definitely. He had some trouble getting that one in the boat.
Did he?
And he just sat there and like had a hoe and just got under the shell and picked it up. I was like, geez.
Yeah. He's definitely a crazy one. Like I said, he had me running from hogs in the wood in the middle of the night. Like he had me freaked out. Like I said, I'm out here all the time. Like I've been surrounded by coyotes. I've been charged by 10 bucks. This man had me terrified down in those bayou swamps. All right. I definitely learned something. Like I'm gonna go back out there, but I'm gonna go prepared next time.
And then it's funny because Brendan called me one day and he was just like, "Hey, I'm on my way back. I'm going to the ER." And I'm like, "What are you doing, man?" He's like, "I was just racing wild horses, and my wife told me I'm too old to do it, and I said I'd do it one last time."
Yeah, that's the wrong thing to tell Brendan. He's gonna do it.
Yeah, I think Brendan's got a strong will of his own.
Right.
Yeah, he was actually he was pretty far. He almost got on a loan. He got to the actual final trial right before, and then he just didn't make the cut. So like Brendan's up there when it comes to survival. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but he hunts wolves. Like he takes all that out. Like he's out there. So these are some real men that they put on this show. Like all these people that they put out here are really top of the line.
Let me ask you this: you leave the show, you go back to like normal life. Be honest, like how long was that first shower that you had after being back?
I think I did like 3 in one day after I got back to the hotel from the hospital. I just stood under that hot water forever. Then I get out and get back in.
Right.
I can kind of say I didn't really take a long shower. I kind of didn't want to wash Alaska off. So, I did enough just to get the dirt out of my dreads and, get that top layer of dirt off. But I don't think I took another shower till I got back to, because I stopped in Texas first to see my older sister. And then I flew to Maryland to where I was staying at. I don't think I took a shower till I got back to Maryland. To be honest, like my jacket that I wore there still smells like campfire. Like, yeah, like I don't want to get rid of that.
I put all my garb in a big trash bag. I haven't washed it. I kept it with me. I was like, no, this is going in the time capsule.
Yeah, like you can't just like wash that stuff away. Like that's literally memories. Like it's better than any photo you could ever take.
Oh yeah. Can imagine.
Was there anything like in everyday life that felt totally like overwhelming at first, like when you came back?
People. Hands down, people. I stayed in my sister's backyard for almost the first week. She was like, "Hey, I got food." I would literally go in the house, get the food, and I would go sit out in her backyard by the fire. I mean, I was out there when it was snowing. I was out there when it was raining, when it was hot. I went and put up my little coverall. I literally stayed outside for a whole week after I got back. And I would say it was about a month before I actually started looking for work because I didn't want to, be back in the workforce yet. I wanted to be still out in the
Right. Now, what kind of work do you do, Trey?
When I first got out, I was doing security for the Baltimore Ravens. Did that for quite a while, and then I moved back to Texas, and I started doing glazing, which is glass install, so big high rises, skyscrapers, stuff like that. So I've done St. Jude's building, 43-floor building down in Austin, Texas. So doing that was a new profession for me, but me trying to be Captain Save 'em all, somebody got some equipment stuck in the elevator, and I ended up lifting up like 1,500 pounds to get it unstuck. Yeah, so I ended up blowing 2 discs in my lower black. So yeah, right now that's why I'm taking a lot of trips back and forth to Tennessee because now I live in North Carolina, Red Springs, and
Okay.
I have to go back to Tennessee to go see my doctors. As a matter of fact, this is coming out the day that I'll be getting my diagnostic to see if I'll be having surgery or not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, he said when he comes back through, he's going to stop by Chattanooga and eat with us.
Oh yeah, most
Hey, you
definitely.
can, man.
Can't wait. I love Chattanooga. I actually went out there a couple months ago, and y'all got some really nice waterfalls out there.
Yeah, you do. There's
I do
one
wish
like
they had
15.
showed the waterfall that you found on there. I really wanted to see it.
Yeah, that was pretty dope.
I could hear it.
Now, Tanya, anything that was overwhelming for you coming back?
I would say people also. It was just the airports were everything was very overstimulating, which I did not enjoy at all. It like created great anxiety in me. And then shortly after returning, my dog passed away, so that was really crappy. Yeah, it was hard. I am glad I got home in time to be with her, though.
Yeah,
That's good. Now, what about food? Like, first off, I guess I will go back to the show for one thing. What was your favorite thing to eat on the show, and then your favorite thing to eat after the show?
There was this herbal plant out there that was pretty much good for everything. So I was constantly eating that plant because I was always nauseous from the seafood and even just the smell of the salt from the seafood. So I was constantly eating that herb, and it was my best friend.
yarrow?
And when I came back, I craved noodles, carbohydrates, I guess. Noodles,
Right, just carb up.
all the noodles.
Right. Yeah, because y'all were surviving off like very low calorie counts, right? I mean,
Yeah,
very low.
very low. I think my favorite thing to eat out there. Well, I'm not gonna say my favorite thing. My favorite thing was definitely the starfish, but the most interesting thing I'd have to say was definitely the banana slugs. Yeah. So I figured they are edible. You have to cook them a certain way. I kind of knew, kind of didn't, so I was kind of just guessing around. You cut the head off, squeeze it out like toothpaste, and then you fry it up. And it was like it's more like an olive if I had to compare it to anything, just really chewy. So it's kind of more like gum. You just keep chewing it to give your mind the idea of you eating something.
right.
That sounds tasty.
Yeah, it sounds great. Right?
Do not recommend ground Twinkies. Do not.
Yes, my ground Twinkies were my favorite.
That sounds horrible, Trey. I'm not gonna.
Yeah, every time I find them now, my niece and nephew are like, "Are you gonna do it?" Yeah.
Ariel, she was so funny with that. Are you gonna eat it today? Are you gonna eat it today?
I kept them in my pocket. Like I had a little front chest pocket, and I would keep stuffing slugs every time I found one, and I would stuff it in my chest pocket. And I think one day I went to go forage or set traps for squirrels, and I totally forgot, and I just stuck my hand in there, and hand just came out just full of slime, and I was like, I think it's time to get rid of these.
Well, I don't know if you've ever seen Napoleon Dynamite, but he had the tots in the pocket.
Oh yeah,
so
those are definitely my types. Definitely my type. Glad nobody squished them though. I think I would have been pretty traumatized.
Right. Now, was there a favorite food for you after you got back, or were you just looking for more slugs?
I definitely requested Twizzlers the whole way until they snuck me a pack of Twizzlers as I was going into the airport, and I was like, fire. But my whole family knows my number one dish is shisketi, which is shrimp and spaghetti. So, my mom made it, and then I went over and my sister made it, and then we all had like a little family get together, and then my aunts made it. So, I was pretty happy. Everybody loaded me up with pasta when I got back.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good.
Noodles.
So basically, both y'all noodles.
Yeah. The quickest way back to normal.
Right.
And believe it or
When
not,
you got
I actually gained weight. I don't know how. So whenever I left for Alaska, I was like 175. By the time we left the hotel room, I was down to like 152. Whenever I left and did my final way out, I think I was like 178, 180. And we have no idea
Wow.
how it happened. Like, we were eating very minimum. We were working hard. I mean, of course, the last couple of days when it was just me and Tanya, we already had firewood to the side, so we weren't working as hard. But I just thought that was amazing. Like, that was the best workout slash diet I've ever gone on.
How many slugs did you eat, man?
I think I was just at 2, hopefully. I kind of lost track, but I think it was 2. They were so
You
easy
got to
to
eat a lot
find
of
out there.
slugs.
Everything was so moist. Like, everywhere you would step, you would just see them slugging, and you could, of course, follow their slime trails. I was like, "Oop, land Twinkie coming up."
Yeah. Dude, I love that you just see them slugging.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard.
Thinking nothing's gonna happen. Nobody wants to eat me. Okay.
Nice.
Now, how did your family, your friends react? Like,
Oh, they
when you
hated
got
it.
back,
Watching.
watching the show, like, how did they react when they saw everything that you went through?
Yeah, they were kind of just really surprised that I was out there just so comfortable and just being my normal self, that I wasn't like freaking out or wanting to come home and doing this, breaking down. Like, they did give us a camera to kind of like record our own like little snippets or whatever we wanted to do. I shot some shots of me shooting arrows and kind of like me venting, talking about my life. But of course they didn't put it in there. But I feel like I had a big relief out there. Even though nobody saw it, I got to get that weight off my chest about people who hurt me, men's mental health and all this kind of stuff. And I feel like it helped me personally.
That's huge, man. Like so him and I both, we love being outside too. Maybe not quite doing everything that y'all are doing, but we love being outside. So we both rucked a lot. And so that's a big thing too. And for me, that's my time. I'm there with nature, I'm praying, and that's probably one of the best things for my mental health and clarity is just being out and rucking and just walking and being to myself,
Y'all really do sound like a mother and son relationship.
Right.
Listen, she can survive out there.
Oh yeah.
Turn on the camera. Yeah, she's got this.
I can tell you, we are both the same when it comes to electronics. We hate electronics with a passion. So she might be yelling at the phone right now, but she'll come back.
Well, she's got her head in the sand like the ostrich right now.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, her llama moment.
Right. She's doing her.
No, I mean, honestly, we're the same way. That's why we have to have a producer. We don't know how to do any of this.
No.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I have so many videos and edits because I'm out here. I'm like building on this house. So I found out that we got like 30 acres of family land. So there's a little house out here that's been overgrown. So I've been out here cutting back trees and, repairing the roof and walls and all this stuff. And I'm literally making videos and snippets, but I don't really know how to do videos. So I'm actually in the process of looking somebody to, do my videos for me.
No, that's awesome, man. Well, I'm not sure if Tanya is able to get back on. I hope she can, but we'll move on a little bit. What I wanted to see is like, what's your next big challenge? What's your next adventure? Is it working on this family land, or do you have another big thing that you're trying to go toward?
So right now, I'm kind of waiting to see what the doctor's going to do with this surgery, because with my tooth slip disc, I've been working with it since April, I believe. If it's not getting any better by the time I go back for this last checkup, they have to cut my back open, shape down some bone, add in some silicone, and I don't know how long my recovery time is going to be. So,
Right.
I definitely want to. I've tried putting my application back in for a loan. I definitely put my application in for season 3, but I'm here, so I didn't get the call. If there is a season 4, I'll be putting in for that as well. I also want to. I've tried putting in my application for a Race Across America. So like another show would be cool, but I do want to do a survival show. I don't like game shows where you might get voted off, you might not. Like I have a lot of skills, and I do want to show them and showcase them. And Race Across America is literally land nav, but you also have to survive. So, I do both. So if I can get somebody from the show or one of my friends to get out here, I'm 100% sure like I can do just as well as I did on this show, even better.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
Well, one thing I have to say, man, I love your energy. I love your laughter, your joy, man, and having all of that with the hurt back, that's impressive. Because I've had some back issues at times, and I'm just grateful that even through that pain, you're still keeping the joy, man, and so that's awesome. But I'm a big praying person, man, so I'll be praying for you on that, so you can achieve some of those things, and the back will be as minimal as possible to get you back on your feet quick and everything. So.
And I definitely thank you for that. I mean, I can definitely say God has a big part in it. Because, I got to North Carolina, didn't know anybody. I literally drove down the street, ran to a new church. As I walked in there, they saw me walking in the door, asked could they pray for me. Like, off top, like, I didn't say anything, literally sat in the back, tried to be a quiet little mouse. They literally pulled me out, came up, prayed for me. Everybody put their hands on me, and out of nowhere, somebody put their hands right where my injury was. And as they prayed for me, that pain went away. So I've been dealing with this church, and, they're really good people. I got family calling me. They want to help me out with getting the videos out, get me some more videos, go shooting, go hunting, do all this stuff. So things are happening because of my faith. So I definitely say, like, without a doubt, I'll give him all praise and glory. Like, I would not be here without him. I wouldn't have made the show without him. And, I don't think I would have so many people looking towards me. I mean, I've had so many messages of people saying, thanks to what you said on the show, I'm now reconnected with family. I found God. Like, I feel like I want to do better for humanity. People are telling me, like, I'm helping their kids be better people in school. It's like, I never saw that. All I did was speak whatever came to my heart, and whatever he told me to say, I said. And the fact that it reached so many people, it still astounds me today. Like, I still get messages saying, hey, I just watched the show, and the show almost a year old now,
Right. Well, it sounds like, you were able not only to showcase kind of like your skills and things like that on the wild, but also like impact some people and make a difference in a big way. Anyone can eat a slug, but not everyone can impact on something.
Be happy about eating that slug is what's the challenge, all right?
And man, with all of it, dude, I love that you're giving the glory to God, man. And I think that, like, when you look at the things that he can bring us through in life, man, it's huge. So, that's one of the things that instantly drew me to you, and being a big fan of yours, man. And whatever you got moving forward, man, I'm going to be a big fan of. I'm actually going to North Carolina this weekend, so I may have to call you and see how far it is, and maybe we can meet up or something. But
even on Friday, we can do a little cross route,
Yeah. But no, man, I appreciate you coming on. You and Tanya have been amazing, and just grateful for you, and you being part of the podcast.
Yeah, we appreciate guys.
The invite, man. This is definitely a bonus. I've tried to get on so many, and they're like, oh, we're busy right now, or talking to somebody else. And so I really appreciate y'all taking the time, and like, especially getting me to see my mom. Like, we've done calls here and there, but I really haven't seen her since like the end of the show. I think for the finale, me, Emily, Drew, and Bree all met up in Austin, and we did a little video call with her. But that's literally the last time I've seen her when the final episode came out. So it was really good to see her and talk to her. She's definitely smiling a lot more. So I'm happy to see that.
Yeah. Dude, and I love to see y'all's relationship, man. That was a lot of fun for us. So,
yeah. But we appreciate you coming on, man. You got a contagious attitude, man. Big things are ahead for you. We believe that.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll have to have you come back and check in when you start doing some of these other shows and start working on the house. Give us some updates and stuff.
Yeah. Well, so we'll definitely have to get you back, man. But so we appreciate you. Where can they find you on social media?
On my Instagram, it is Outlast Trey, Outlast_Trey. And my YouTube is Trizz Thomas, Trizz Thomas 9277. And my Facebook, I think, is Trizz Thomas. Same way, Trizz Thomas.
Well, man, we appreciate you. You guys check him out. He puts out great content. I watch his stuff every day since I started following him, and he puts out a lot of fun stuff. And you never know what you're gonna see. It could be him working on faith. It could be him just doing something that you probably never even seen before. So he's a lot of fun to follow. And Rojo family, we love you guys,
and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to introduce myself. I don't believe that we have ever met.